Hello everyone, I'm Ettienne from Ettienne's Foods, and this is my Moroccan style lamb rib, and we're going to be cooking it in the wood burning oven by Steelle. Okay, so staan ribbetjie, standing rib. It's a South African favorite. Today we're going to be cooking it in the wood burning oven on a rib rack, and we're going to give it a Moroccan twist. Why not? So what we do first, most important, start off with a nice piece of local lamb rib. Here we've got a nice piece I got from one of the local butchers. Comes from one of the farms nearby. It's going to be delicious. Then you need a cup of orange juice and a juice of 1 lemon with the zest of 1 orange and 1 lemon. That's what I've got here, sort of. I've got the Rex Union oranges, so they're already kind of sour, so there's no lemon juice in here. We've got the zest in there as well. Remember to put the zest in. There's a lot of flavor. A lot of that orange and lemon flavor you're looking for is actually in the zest. But the juice will give you the acidity, give you a little bit of sugar. So that's the base for our marinade. I also want to mention that we're not going to be putting the spices in the marinade. And my main reason for that is that spices are a surface treatment. The marinade is there to tenderize the meat a little bit. The acidity here will sort out that fattiness that lamb can sometimes have. And then the sugar, instead of salt this time, is going to draw into the meat. It's going to help the meat retain some of that juiciness. And then we've got a bit of aromatics that will also draw into the meat. Okay, so we'll start off with 1 tablespoon of sugar. You can use brown sugar, but remember this is a scientific thing that we're wanting to happen, so any sugar will do. Then we've got grated, about a thumb-sized piece of ginger. That's going in there. About 2-3 cloves of garlic, finely chopped. And about 1/2 cup of mince, also chopped. That's all going into the marinade. You just give that a stir up. Give it a smell. Use your senses when you're cooking. It smells very interesting. It smells fresh. Smells delicious. But that little bit of orange in it goes so well in winter when you're wanting some warmer flavors as well. And then we're going to take it, put it in our marinating dish. Pour in some of the marinade. Get all around it. Pour a little bit more. Put that over. Put the marinade nicely on it. Okay. And then we're going to leave this for about 2-3 hours at least. You can leave it in a bit longer also. And every sort of 45 minutes to an hour, I'm going to come in, give it a bit of a stir around, make sure the marinade's getting in there everywhere. And then we'll get back and I'll show you how we spice it later on. Alright, let's talk about the spice mixture quickly. Got a teaspoon of fine cinnamon there. About 1/2 teaspoon of dried coriander, about 1/2 teaspoon of ground cloves, and then it's a tablespoon of whole coriander that we've toasted in the pan and just sort of cracked in the grinder, so it's got a little bit of character to it. So this we'll mix up. That'll be our spice mixture, and we'll put the salt and the pepper as always on separately. Okay, so it's been marinating for a couple of hours, and you can see if you look at it, the changing color, the marinade's definitely done some work. So we're going to take it out, just let it drain, let it drain, and then we're going to go in with our spices. Okay, so first we'll do a little bit of salt. This is the bone side, but it's got a little piece of meat there. just sprinkle the salt on as you would season. A little bit of pepper. I'm doing that separately to the other spice mixture. Okay, and now we're going to go with about a third of that spice mixture on the back. Okay. There we are. Give that a little bit of a spread around. Now the meat side. We'll get all the spices in nicely. A little bit of moisture still from the marinade will help the spices sort of stick for us. There we are. So what we're going to use to make it work in the wood fired oven, I'm going to sneeze from that cinnamon, is one of these rib racks that you can get at your local braai shop, and it's going to go in with the rib like this. I'll fire on this side, I'll show you that in a bit, and I'm sort of going to put it in the middle so that it can slowly cook. It's a slow cook. Let's move this over, and we're going to go in with the rib side facing the fire first, the bone side, and we'll just tuck this little piece of thin meat in the back, because that should take a little bit more time, a little less time, so we're protecting it a bit. And that's it, Steelle ribbietjie style. Let's get it in the oven, and it should take about an hour and a half, and it should be done. Okay, so let's just chat about how I've set up the oven. You can see I've got the flames going over here with the wood. Got some Namib Camille during braai hout going, and then here on this side we've set the rib, and that's going to slowly cook with some radiant heat. My suspicion is that because of the shape of the oven, I'm not going to have to turn it around much, but we'll see. And as you can see, I've left the doors open because we don't want to create an oven here. We want the heat from the coals to slowly cook the lamb rib. And then I'll use the leftover marinade to baste it every now and then. And we'll get back to you. So we've decided to make some flatbreads to go with these ribs. And you can see the flame going there. I've moved the ribs all the way to the back. I've got the skin side facing the flame now, so that it can crisp up a little bit. And just charring some peppers there. All the time the door's been open to try and keep the slow cook mentality going. And I had a little taste when I took it out to baste, and it's unbelievable. I think I'm going to enjoy this. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're just going to dab a little bit more of this basting sauce on it. That was the marinade. I'm just using that to do a final little baste. The rib is looking delicious and ready. And there's a last little flourish. I'm just going to drizzle it with a bit of honey. There we are. And now we're going to put it back in the oven just to sort of crisp up a bit. So final stage now. We've basted it one more time, put a bit of honey on, and I've just laid it across the rack. Hard to see in this light. I'm going to close the oven door, about 10 minutes, just let it crisp up, and we're done. So it's out the oven, and I must be honest, I haven't been as excited to eat the lamb rib in a while, because I've been sneaking little tastes here and there, and it's delicious. It's flavors that you don't usually have, you know, the cinnamon, the clove, the orange, honey, coriander, all on it. And it's for if you're used to Greek style lamb or to South African style lamb, this is a very, very nice change. So it's cooked with some nice crispy bits. but it hasn't dried out. You can see how juicy it is. We'll probably just end up chopping it up. Get a nice little chop up. Ooh, looking great. There's a little lamb rib. Still a little bit pink on the inside because we took our time in cooking it. And we've made some flatbreads. Carmen's made some flatbreads for us. We're just going to have some roasted peppers. Remember, I had them in the oven there. Some roasted peppers, a bit of garlic, a bit of olive oil, and some avo. Real simple supper. Great recipe for watching the rugby or anything like that, having friends over. And I really think you should try this. Let me try it. Try a piece of meat. So soft, and all that sort of gaminess from the lamb fat is gone because we marinated it in the acidity from those oranges and lemon, or the Rex Union oranges. It's a little bit sweet with the everything we put on, the honey we drizzled over it. Try one of these crispy with spices. I'm going to stop doing this now, make ourselves a couple of nice wraps, have a lekker Sunday evening. Try this recipe. Really, you're going to love it. You can slow cook in that oven. Just demonstrated it. Watch the video. It's really a lot easier than you think. And a new way to do a Steelle ribbietjie. Enjoy.